Well, guys, tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow, I have my pretrial conference in federal court where the defense will show up. I will show up, and a federal, I don't know if it's a magistrate judge or the circuit judge, will decide whether or not to approve or grant the defense's motion to dismiss my lawsuit based on the abundance of reasons and objections and so-called deficiencies in my lawsuit, or will decide to allow the case to proceed, at which time we will then begin the process of discovery, issuing subpoenas if necessary to compel the defense to identify defendant John Doe, and I will be deposed, and I will be able to depose whomever I've chosen in my pretrial conference. What was it called? I think it's called a scheduling order that the defense and I agreed upon. We also had to submit a timeline for the trial and jury selection, etc., 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 stating that it would take the defense and me, it'll take us together, separately of course, 1 to 2 days to present our respective cases. My case and then the defense's case, or their side of the story. It's also going to be where they attempt to decide if ADR, or alternative dispute resolution, is appropriate and can be agreed upon, which I will vehemently oppose because of the fact that this is not a dispute. That's fine if there's like two neighbors who are fighting over a parking space or something benign like that. I was the victim of a crime, and the idea of sitting at a table with the suspect, the perpetrator, the person who victimized me, while attempting to come to some type of an agreement or arrangement, absolutely sickens me. And I feel re-victimized again just thinking about such a travesty. It's like taking the victim of some kind of a crime, and then you sit her, I say her, I don't know why, sit her down at a table with the man who violated her, and telling her, okay, now you two sit down here and just discuss what happened and see if you can't come to some kind of an agreement and an arrangement that will keep the court from having to listen to your BS story. To me, that's what ADR would be akin to. So I'm not even slightly interested. As a matter of fact, I'm highly offended and insulted and re-victimized by the very idea of alternative dispute resolution. No, I want justice. I want for the perpetrator to be held accountable, either by way of being found guilty at trial, or for the defense to decide that they want to plead out this case and grant me the relief that I am seeking through this process of filing this lawsuit and making all of these allegations against the police officer, the chief of police, and the city of South Padre Island for sitting on their hands and refusing, not failing, refusing to take any action whatsoever. I never once got an answer from the mayor, from any of the city council members, from any of the city administration regarding this issue. I never got a response from any of the supervisors who were there at the scene, on the scene that day, despite me pleading with them to please do something to remedy what had happened. All of which, any of which, one or more of which would have prevented this from becoming a lawsuit. And also from the city records keeper, who didn't fail, refused to honor the police department's policy and state law and provide me all the information that I requested, including the name and badge number of the old man who prevented me from recording threatened to arrest me, told me I wasn't going to sue anybody, stalked me, criminally stalked me while armed, following me around in a vehicle, advanced towards me in a threatening manner without issuing any verbal commands, just as an absolute intimidation tactic, and basically a pre-assault indicator, causing me to have to back up and essentially get out of there and escape, because I wasn't sure what this guy was capable of doing. He was behaving like a criminal, like a armed assailant at that time. It was clear that he was extremely upset and highly triggered and was not interested whatsoever in obeying policy, identifying himself, or following the law. He just wanted to intimidate and harass me and get me out of there because he didn't like the content of my free speech. So anyway, tomorrow, Friday, April the 23rd at 11:30 a.m., I will go before the district court judge, and I will explain what my case is all about, what this case is about. The defense will be attempting to have him motion to approve and grant their dismissal, and I will be attempting to get the court to do the right thing and let it move forward so that justice can be served. So there's a little update for you guys. And if it does go forward, the proposed schedule is a January 2022 trial, jury trial. That's what we're looking at. So literally over a year since the event took place, we're just barely looking at a trial in January of next year. Just an idea of how long it takes to try and get justice when unlawfully arrested and detained by a police officer for exercising your First Amendment rights of freedom of speech, freedom of the press, for not breaking any laws, for not doing anything suspicious, for not making any threats, for not attacking, assaulting any police officers, for not using fighting words, for not resisting arrest, and for allowing them to 100% violate you, seize your property, seize your person, put you into mechanical restraints, violently shake you up and rough you up, and threaten to throw you in jail for a charge that the Supreme Court under Brown versus Texas has clearly established cannot be used as grounds to make an arrest, and that is a failure to ID charge. Totally illegal. The trespassing charge does not hold water, was not repeated. It was obviously just a attempt to justify and validate the unlawful actions of this police officer who stepped outside of the bounds of his authority to make an arrest against a citizen journalist who expressed an opinion that the officer found offensive or unfavorable. And so there it is, guys. Tomorrow's a big day. I will try and do an update video. I've got a lot of other things going on tomorrow, all at the same time and right after this happens, but I'll try and provide either a update on my community page or another video or maybe a live stream to let you know what the outcome was. Take care.